BookTube Nation. I'm Sam here again with A Bear and a Bee Books, and today I have a slightly belated June TBR. So for June, what I thought I would do is I also have my Juneology TBR, which I will link down below if you want to go check that out. Now, there's no way between that and these books that I'm going to get through them all, but I thought what would be really fun, since June is my birthday month, is I would go ahead and do a potential 5-star read in TBR form. So yeah, what better month to read 5-star books than your birthday month? And the first place I ever saw the 5-star book recommendation type video was on Mercedes' channel. So that's Mercy's Bookish Musings, and I'll link it down below. I'm sure that you're all subscribed, but I wanted to mention it because that is the first place I remember ever seeing one of those. The first one is Elizabeth Taylor's Angel, which I'm reading and really enjoying so far. I remember, I think Ange over at Beyond the Pages read and really enjoyed this one. I'll link her channel down below. But yeah, I love her writing style. One of her other books was one of my favorite books, Another Year. I'll link that video down below so you can check it out if you'd like to. I'm really enjoying this. It is about a young girl. It's kind of like a coming of age story. She's growing up and going to school. She's a very strange little young girl, and she gets it into her head that she wants to write a novel. And then the story goes from there. My next 5-star is Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day, and this is by Winifred Watson. This is the beautiful Persephone edition. I will do a Persephone book collection video for you soon. I don't have too many, but I do have a few, and I really love them. I think that they're really beautifully published books, and I also like the message behind Persephone, which is to republish and find works written by women that are lesser known or maybe have gone out of print. They do publish an occasional book by a male that celebrates kind of the spirit of what they're doing. But yeah, I really do enjoy the publisher. I think their books are beautiful, and I'm always interested in checking out books that are lesser known. So they're a great one for me. But also one of my viewers, thank you so much, said that this would be a really great book for me because that I enjoyed Miss Palfrey at the Claremont, which I love, which is the book that I read by Elizabeth Taylor. Spoiler. But yeah, so I'm really excited to check this one out. I hear it's kind of like a Cinderella, you know, one of those kind of queen for the day type stories where like everything just kind of happens to you in this one day and it changes your life. Next is one that I previously tried to sneak into another TBR, and I unfortunately didn't have time to get to it, but I really wanted to try and prioritize this. And this is Sharks in the Time of Saviors, a novel by Kawai Strong Washburn. And I read like the first chapter and a half or so of this before I purchased it, and I just fell in love. This is about a boy, and they're out on the water, and he falls into the water or something, and the sharks don't attack him. And so it becomes kind of almost like this mythical experience, and it starts mentioning a lot of the folklore and mythologies that they have on the island. And I am really, really into that. If you know anything about me, I studied mythology in college, and I just really enjoy how that's my kitty. I just really enjoy how over time our stories as human beings turn into folklore and mythology, and how we use them to try and teach lessons and try and to teach the next generations. And I love to see how different mythologies around the world sometimes kind of reconnect, and they almost connect into like religious beliefs and things like that. And it's just really interesting to me. Plus, I absolutely fell in love with Kawai when I went there with my husband. I think it's an absolutely beautiful place. And I think that if you have a deep rooted connection to nature, I think that it's a wonderful place to go and visit. So yeah, so I think that this may be another 5-star, and I'm really excited to give it a try. And this is why this is a little late. I was waiting for my copy of Beach Read to come in, and this of course is by Emily Henry, and everybody has been raving about this book. Romance isn't like one of the genres that I typically gravitate towards, but lately everything's been going on. I am in the mood for either like thrillers or lighter stories. I want to try some things that are kind of out of my comfort zone. People that read romance have been raving about this, and I know that she's written some other YA books in the past, and I'm just really excited to get to this. What I basically know about this one is that there are 2 authors, and they meet, I believe, on vacation, and one is a romance writer and one is a literary fiction writer, and they kind of swap. So they're both having difficulties writing their story, and so they decide to write the others. I did read like the first chapter of this one before I picked it up, and it seems like there are some heavier elements in this. I think it was like death of a family. Don't quote me, but it just seemed a little bit heavier than just that. So I think this might be a little bit meatier than just a typical romance, but I'm excited to get to it. I've heard great things. Next is The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn, and I have to say I have heard there's some definite controversy with this author. I am aware that it exists. I don't know all the details about it, but I just showing it on my channel, I wanted to mention that. This is supposed to be, has some elements of, if you will, the Rear Window with Jimmy Stewart, and I love that movie. It's probably one of my top 10 favorite movies. And it's weird because I only came across it recently with my husband a while ago, and I just really enjoyed it. I'm excited to check this out. My mom actually read it and really loved it, and like I said, I've been interested in trying some different genres and things, and I thought that this might be a good one to check out. And the next one was a gift from my mom. Thanks, Mom. I'm way behind in book hauls this year. Please forgive me. I will do one eventually. But yeah, she picked this up for me. This is Jojo Moyes. This is The Giver of Stars. Now, this sounds like what I would love. It's, you know, I'm trying to try some new things this year, but this is a lot of like kind of what I started reading and why I love reading. It's historical fiction. It features women characters. It has to do with like a traveling library. I think they're going west, or they're in the west. That's like all buzzwords for me. So I've heard really great things about this. I did read her very popular Me Before You, and I ended up enjoying it. I think my mom and I both read it, and then I think we saw the movie together. It was a while ago, but I think that's what happened. Yeah, and I enjoyed it, and I think that this one is even more kind of up my street. So I'm excited to check this out, and I've heard great things. The reviews on Goodreads are really good, and I'm finding I'll have to do like a book of the month haul for you and show you all the book of the months that I've got as well sometime. But I'm finding I really trust book of the month as far as picking a variety of genre. I find that if something ends up on book of the month, I'm at least gonna like it. I may not love it, but I'm at least gonna like it. And I mean, I'm sure there's some books on there that wouldn't be for me, but I haven't found one yet. So I joined in December. I'm not like sponsored by them or anything, but I just thought I would mention it because if you're interested in checking something out like that, so far the books that I've found on there I think are pretty quality. Okay, and the last one I wanted to mention, When the Sea Turned Silver, and this is by Grace Lynn. I read another one of her books, I think last year, to my daughter, and absolutely loved it. It was beautiful, and the illustrations, there are some full page, oh man, these books are beautiful. There are some full page illustrations. So yeah, so I highly recommend. I read her, Where the Mountain Meets the Moon last year, and highly recommend it. If you like middle grade, if you enjoy books with like a journey in them, if you are just looking for some more diverse books to read for middle grade, I thought it was really beautiful. And the places in the book are not somewhere that I've ever been, but it's somewhere that I'd like to go. I love to travel. I love to experience different cultures as far as the food and the music and the people. I'm really excited to give this one a try because the last one was such a joy. And this one, I also get I don't know a lot about it, but it has that same journey story kind of feel to it, and I love that. Like, The Wizard of Oz was one of my favorite things growing up as a child. I love the hero's journey. I love the philosophy behind that. I think that it's really important for society. I'm so excited to see which ones of these come back as 5 stars. So those are all the books I have for you today, and I hope that you're reading some wonderful books. And I just want to thank you for spending this time with me today. I know that there are lots of things you could do with your time, and by spending just a little bit of it with me, I really appreciate that. And I hope that by doing so, we can share our love of books together. Thanks for being here with me today. Farewell for now. Bye.